Good evening, Advisee. So here are my comments on your research proposal. You limit the space, adjust here, and put the month and the year of proposal defense. For your background of the study, it's quite okay. There are just a few, I don't know if this is because of the conversion to PDF. But at this point, also vaccination program, the Philippines has come under the spotlight because of the Vaxia controversy, blah blah blah, according to DOH. This was taken from somewhere, so you need to cite that part. And again, this one is, I think, because of the conversion to PDF. But the last part here also, where Duque said something, it must have come from another source or reference. So that means you need to cite that again. And then here you need to put comma, small letter P, and because you will compare. So okay, you showed that you will be comparing urban and rural barangay. So you need to insert at this part, include here differences of the urban and rural barangays in terms of vaccinations, what they have in the literature, and what is the difference of these barangays according to the status or prevalence of immunization on their areas. For the statement of the problems, just the structure, change the structure of the statement of the objectives with these. And then for letter E here, I could not identify now what is the term for this one. Where do mothers get information about vaccination? There is a term according to profile also for this one. If you can coin a term for this one so that it will be the same with the other profiles: demographics, socioeconomic, health profile, health seeking behavior, things like that. And then for the health seeking behavior and immunization, you have here who. It should not be a who, where, and how. There should be also terms for these ones. And then you have level of knowledge, attitude, practices. And then number 5, you have how do the two barangays differ in terms of. And then for number 5, how do the barangays differ in terms of. You showed a profile of mothers, level of knowledge, attitude, and practices. And this is one thing that I think, the prevalence of non-fully immunized children, how many are non-immunized in those areas. And then number 6 is looking at the profile of mothers against the level of knowledge, attitude, and practices. So number 7 would be between B and C, level of knowledge and the prevalence. Number 9 would be number 7 would be A and C, between A and C. Then this number 9 is B and C. I inserted here number 8 because we want also to know the relationship between, if there's a relationship between the attitude, knowledge, and practices of the mothers. Then also you need to change your statement of hypothesis according to number 6, 7, 8, and 9 because all of these ones are inferential questions. For your conceptual framework, also again another minor error. yours. But for your research paradigm, it should be one whole figure or illustration that shows you already everything that you will do in the paper. So it will already show you all the variables and actually the process that you will do. I see all the variables here, all the processes. It actually is very much detailed. So number one, you need to profile. Input is profile of the mothers of both barangays, demographics, socioeconomic, clinical health, this one. Number two would be the level of knowledge. Number three would be the where is the attitude? This is the knowledge. Nawawala si attitude. So there should be attitude here also before the practices. And then that's it. This one is we put here in the process. So you interview, questionnaire, analyze, and then here you need to put your test of associations or relationships. You need not to put already what those, but these are already your 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then for the outcome would be the level of knowledge of both barangays. So for the scope and the limitations of the study, it's also minor errors obtained August. This one is June to August. I read from, I think, data collection. You will do data collection procedure. It says there 2 months. So June, July pala tayo dito for the data collection. And then, significance of the study is okay. For definition of terms, you only included demographic profile. But I suggest you put profile itself and discuss all the profiles included in your statement of the objectives. Your demographics, socioeconomic, health-seeking behavior, you put it all there. And since we added the prevalence of non-fully immunized children there, you need to define it here also. And then for your RRL, this is the part where you need to do a lot of changes. You need to start with children immunization first. I saw that you use a thematic framework here. And then under children immunization, look at the global status on children immunization status here in the Philippines. If we have status here in the region, you can also add that there. And then next major subcategory is your parent profile. So you have here profile of mothers. That would be actually fine, but you need to have separate paragraphs or literatures and comparisons of articles for effect of demographic profile on vaccination, effect on socioeconomic, health status, health-seeking behavior, and where their trainings come from. So I don't see them here. For the knowledge, this is actually good, nicely written, but you only focused on the benefit part. Remember, under your knowledge, you are looking at the schedule of vaccines. I don't see it here. Effect of delayed vaccines. I don't see it here. And vaccine contraindications is more on benefits lang. That's why I saw that your RRL is quite short. Then next is attitude of mothers towards children immunization. I can't say a lot for this one because I have not seen your question here. All those questions that are there there should be a corresponding discussion or articles where you got it from, or status of those attitude, for example. And then for practices, the same thing. You need to put allowed and completion of. Yeah. And then last part here is to put the do not forget about your inferential questions. So you will look at the articles that looks at knowledge and profile and attitude on vaccination, profile and practices. Okay, and then profile and prevalence, knowledge, attitude, practice, and prevalence, and knowledge, attitude, and practices. And after that, last part would be the programs. Here, I think I wrote it here, but programs here in the for example, WHO program on children immunization, and then here in the Philippines also, Department of Health, the programs on EPI. You write it all down in one area. You can also show the effectivity of these programs, the status of these programs today. Then for your research methodology, minor, and then minor. This is the major question here. You use Slovin's formula, there's no problem with that. But as I've computed for Slovin's formula using your total number of households or number of mothers, I got 79 only, not 88. And doing a stratified random sampling, you will use this form after you got the sample, number of samples, for you to get the number of respondents in each strata. You need to use this formula, the sample for every strata, the population in each strata over the total population times the computed sample. So doing that, for example, for this Poblacion West, we have 68 over 99, the total, times the computed sample, 79. You will have 54 respondents there. And then for Malubibit Sur, the same thing, that is same computation, that will give you 25 for a total of 79. And then for your research instrumentation, don't use the term phase. Phases is not for the questionnaire itself, because you are actually describing the questionnaire here. That would be part 1 of the questionnaire, part 2, part 3, part 4 of the questionnaire. It's almost complete, except that part 4, you didn't tell us if this is researcher made or adopted or adapted. And then data gathering procedure is good and everything is okay already. If you have questions, just message me.